Oh, what's the time, please?
It's 8:27 a.m.
So, guys, it's 8:27 a.m. My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. When I got up this morning, there was bin bags all over the floor. So, where I did that video last night, where I showed you my blue balcony lights, this is what they do, right? So someone had strewn rubbish all over the floor where I did my video under my balcony showing you my lights, yeah? So this is what somebody's done because they're jealous, yeah? So this morning when I woke up, right under where my video is, look at all this trash on the floor, this rubbish. Now there's no cleaners. We haven't had any cleaners this week so far, no cleaners. Yeah? So we're going to get rats and mice. Look, dirty, strewn. Somebody's ripped open about 3 bin bags. There's a can over there of soup with a sharp lid on it. Right? There's an onion on the floor. I heard someone going down to the bin store last night, and this is what they were probably doing. Fairy there by that car. There's a fairy soap box. Right? This is what these animals do. Down there, a fairy by that person's car, leading all the way up there. There's no cleaners. There hasn't been cleaners for days. I've reported all this to Hyde Housing. The next stop is the Environmental Health Department at Medway Council because the landlord's not doing anything. Okay, that's my pumpkin from Halloween, by the way. This is jealousy, this is spitefulness, and it's making it everybody's life a misery. Look, food on the floor, food. It's like they're acting. Look, animals open bin bags, wild animals, because maybe they're hungry for food, maybe a fox. There's even a pair of pants on the floor down there, a pair of underpants. Come in, Max. So environmental health next. Environmental Health Department and Medway Council. There's cameras in the building and outside who can see who's doing that. So can you see that it is being done on purpose and that Hyde Housing and the police are not doing their job properly and letting this harassment go on? Right? So I've got up this morning before somebody took the bin bags and put them in the bin store, which was very kind of them because there's no cleaners about at all. I don't want to touch other people's rubbish. There could be germs on it, and I haven't got a pair of gloves. Otherwise, I'd go downstairs and clean the rest of it up. It's disgusting. It is bullying. It is harassment. There is a fairy box by somebody's car. It's harassment. Right? The police won't do anything, nor will the council. That is because I did a video yesterday showing people the fairy lights on my balcony. Right? I've taken evidence of the fairy box, of the rubbish. Hyde Housing are refusing to take responsibility for any of this, even though I've told them it's going on. We had a pest control guy, a man, ring my buzzer when there are 14 flats in this building, and a man rings my buzzer when I've told them that I am vulnerable and don't like people ringing my buzzer. So they get a man to ring my buzzer yesterday. That's Hyde Housing's pest controller. Can't you see what they're doing? This is harassment. This is bullying, and I'm a woman. So like I said, I've taken photographs of all the rubbish that's strewn on the floor before somebody took the bin bags and put them in the bin. There's dangerous rubbish on the floor. We're going to get rats and mice. And there's cans with dangerous lids. Somebody has ripped open bin bags on purpose. I believe it was done last night. Someone in this building is going downstairs and doing this. Someone in this building is going downstairs at night and doing it. And it's someone who's homophobia, and I'm a woman. A fairy box strategically placed by that car outside. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. I'm sure there's something special about today. Wait, I've remembered. It's bonfire night.
So, guys, it's bonfire night tonight, and obviously, like I said last night, keep pets safe, and make sure you're safe as well. It's quite frightening for some people, the elderly, people that are alone, and of course pets. So stay safe outside, people, this evening. There's obviously some kind of monster about, ripping open bin bags. Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 8:34 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Wednesday, the 5th of November.
Alexa, what's the weather like in Rochester?
Currently, in Rochester, England, it's 13 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect lots of clouds, with a high of 17 degrees and a low of 12 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What's black and white and dead all over? A zombie in a tuxedo.
Alexa, which celebrity was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 5th of November include Virat Kohli, Kris Jenner, Tilda Swinton, Robert Patrick, and Jason Kelsey.
I am not a homosexual. I'm a straight white female, and I'm covering up myself because I've been sexually assaulted by men, and one man that was living in the Rochester area. That is why I go around in a big coat and a hat on. Not because I'm a homosexual or I'm gay, because I'm keeping myself protected. It's dangerous outside. It's dangerous up in London. People are getting stabbed. People protecting themselves. I've got a big heavy coat on. It's because someone is not getting responses from dating sites. It's because someone's not getting photographs, and they're not blackmailing or trying to get things out of me. It's not going to work, whatever they do. And it will become a police matter again. This is homophobia. This is racism. This is not on. So, like I said, I've gone out there and I've photographed it. I'll be going out there later on doing a video. I dread to think what the bin store's like. We haven't had cleaners for 5 days now. Obviously there's none over the weekend, and it's just getting mess. Hyde Housing are not taking my concerns seriously, and they're leaving it. They're not even investigating who's doing this homophobic behaviour towards myself. They have a bad record of antisocial behaviour response. They're just leaving it and ignoring it. So I'm going to the environmental health next. But because that is disgusting, leaving rubbish for days in the bin store on the floor of food. And there's mice droppings in there, so they're being reported to the environmental health next for not cleaning up properly. Anyway, that's enough of that, guys. When they're jealous as well of me doing my videos, and so to me it could be someone that is possibly homosexual or gay themselves that is doing this to me, because inside they're unhappy with their own self. And a lot of times that does happen to people. When somebody is hateful of themselves, they take it out on somebody else because they're ashamed of their own self. They start projecting their hatred onto somebody else, right? That has happened in the past. That could be it, because all this is about gayness. And I'm not gay, I'm not homosexual, I'm a female, I'm heterosexual, I've had 4 kids. So this is spiteful, needs to stop. And the housing and the police should deal with it before it gets out of hand. Because if I don't want to get attacked, I don't want somebody to come up to me. Some homophobic people attack gay people. Do I want that to happen to myself? No, I'm not even gay, I don't know where this is coming from. I can only think it's TikTok. When I went into Mr. UK TikTok officials' live streams and started getting sexual harassment in there from men. That's the only thing I can think it is. I mean, the police probably think it's funny. Homophobic towards a woman, for goodness sake. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Get the news your way and combine breaking news with expert opinion to see the full picture.
With award-winning journalism on air and in your hand, the LBC app puts you in control.
Download the LBC app now.
News your way.
Now in your hands.
Concerns around what happened in a way that probably prevented crime, disorder and harm. And let's remember, that's the job of the police. We're here to protect the public and prevent harm. So this guidance builds trust and helps us prevent harm.
Some people asked questions on the weekend, Sir Andy, about how quickly, I believe it was the BTP, British Transport Police, gave the ethnicity and colour of the man who's been charged in connection with the train incident in Huntingdon, in that we knew his skin colour and his blood country of origin. Is that the way forward?
So this guidance does address issues of ethnicity and nationality. And let's look at another area of learning. Baroness Casey,
yeah,
in her review of the grooming gang offences, that child sexual exploitation that took place, said there was a collective failure to address the ethnicity of the grooming gangs. So actually we must respect privacy. We must respect the criminal justice system, but actually the police cannot shilly-shally around in terms of information they're in possession of, that there is a reasonable expectation we put in the public domain. I think BTP got it right.
Why? A lot of people said his skin colour, the alleged perpetrator's skin colour, is irrelevant, Sir Andy.
Well, some political commentators said that BTP were too slow. Some comment, I can name them if you wanted, but some commentators said that the police shouldn't be releasing this information at all. What we must do, and what I would say this document helps us do, I urge people to engage in the consultation, is navigate that narrow corridor that ensures that the police do everything they can to protect public safety, cut crime and build trust and confidence. So I think these are difficult issues, but I don't think the police should or could refuse to address them. That would be wrong.
Okay, so you said engage, the public engage. How can they get involved, Sir Andy?
Well, on the College of Policing website, and our purpose is leadership in policing, raising standards in policing and improving performance. You can find on our website, there is a link to the consultation of this. It's a 57-page document, but you wouldn't expect us to address these issues trivially. And it has been developed in consultation already with the Crown Prosecution Service and every single police force in England and Wales.
If you'll allow, the incident we spoke about in Merseyside was informed in part by social media. When you and I came into our respective professions, social media wasn't even thought of, let alone invented. How can we ensure that social media is a positive in the world of policing?
The straight answer to that is we're probably going to struggle. Since I joined the police in 1987, some bright spark invented the internet, and policing's job, our job, became, it's a wonderful thing, but it became much more difficult.
It's made it much tougher for your blokes and women by 100 miles.
In so many respects. In one respect, you can be a victim of crime having never met the offender, who could be anywhere in the world. And I do think that in the future, governments and institutions will look at the way in which the internet allows free access for terrorists, criminals and paedophiles to access the most vulnerable in society. That's a negative thing. A positive thing, it's wonderful for accessing information. It's opened the world up. This document is about how policing uses the accredited media to actually help get accurate, truthful, timely messages to the public so that they can actually assist the police and they have trust and confidence in us.
Rudely going to interrupt you. I think that's the second time I've heard accredited media. Just break down, is that what I would go to call mainstream media then? What do you mean by accredited media?
I'm using the term to describe people who are journalists who have had some training,
right,
that would assist them in respecting the criminal justice system and the right to a fair trial. Right. It is people
who those are aware of what you can and can't say when there's a live case.
Point one. Point two, those who are overseen by some professional body and have responsibilities around privacy, factualness and defamation. And actually it's that part of the media, the accredited media, if I call you that the relationship between the police and that part of the accredited media has thinned since Leveson, and we want to reset it on professional ethical boundaries. It's not to say that we are ignoring the online citizen journalist. This document will help us in so many ways engage to tackle misinformation, disinformation and malicious information.
But these online citizen journalists, in many instances, can be a real nuisance or an obstacle, can't they?
They can.
Genuine policing.
They can, but what I would say is that openness and transparency and this positive relationship we seek to build with the accredited media actually is the best antidote to the sort of misinformation and malinformation that we can see put in the public domain.
All right, let's move to the end of this. So the public being asked to invite, you've told them how they can get involved. How long will the consultation with the public take, Sir Andy?
So we're gonna run this up until January. This is such a fast-moving world that you can see that already the likes of BTP and other forces are looking at this guidance to inform the way in which they act now.
But you're happy with the way BTP handled the weekend?
I think they did a great job, and sometimes the police need to be given the space to do their job. And you think about the time it takes to arrest someone, find their details, check it's valid. I talked about Jean-Charles Jimenez in 2005. The police were rightfully criticised by the Commission looking at that for the way in which they did and didn't put information into the public domain. They could and should have corrected that Jean-Charles Jimenez was not a terrorist much earlier. So this accredited authorised professional practice seeks all of the learning of decades of policing and lands it right in 2025 in the contemporary time that we now operate.
How confident are you? God forbid there was another case like Jean-Charles Jimenez's. The police would not, whichever force it was, the police would not perform in that fashion.
It's impossible to copper bottom any of those assurances, but what I would say, the College of Policing is about raising standards in policing. It is our standard setting body for policing. This sets a new standard, and I would say that this significantly mitigates against the police being part of that sort of problem.
You've been told how you can get involved through the College of Policing. You've got until January so that you can help shape the future of police communications. I'm getting calls on policing. So Andy's not here on policing, it's the communications aspect, and we'll take your calls on that in a moment. Chief Constable Sandy Marsh, Chief Executive of the College of Policing, thanks for coming by the studios.
My pleasure.
8:45, let's get some LBC News headlines. Dominic Ellis.
The Chancellor has told LBC she won't quit, even if she breaks a key manifesto promise in her upcoming budget. The left-wing Democrat Zoran Mamdani has won the race to be New York City's next mayor. And the Education Secretary has told Nick that a major shake-up